Emotional Reset, Nest for Fragile Souls. A visual and auditory method for healing your negative emotions, and change your life for the better. I've developed this auditory method, called Emotional Reset, after years of experimentation in the field of music therapy, and after having examined the recent studies related to the neuroplasticity of the brain. They have confirmed the indisputable ability of the brain to produce new circuits, replace the old ones and, ultimately, reshape its electrical activity. For almost a decade, I fought against a form of chronic depression, which had made my life unlivable. In a moment of desperation, after medical treatments and therapeutic sessions had proved inefficient, I decided to study in depth the root cause of the onset of depression, and if there were practical alternatives to facilitate the treatment of diseases such as bipolar disorder, OCD, chronic stress, depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and even suicidal thoughts. What I found out is that our thoughts, when exercised repeatedly over the years, become habits. In fact, neuropsychiatrists have discovered that in the brain there is a specific area, called striatum, where our bad or good habits take shape. Unfortunately, once they are formed, it's hardly difficult to break them down. Then I found out that in people with obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD, major depressive disorder and any sort of addictions, the prefrontal cortex seems to be overactive. This particular area in the brain determines the way we interpret and respond to events, whether we react negatively or positively to situations and experiences. These negative thoughts, generated by the accumulation of past negative experiences, and by some predisposition or tendency to dramatize the negative facts that life forces us to face, become a real and vicious circle which seems, for some of us, impossible to get out of. Thinking negatively, or tragically about our lives, produces feelings such as anger, rancor, desperation. They can lead us to violent acts against ourselves, or against others, even people who love us. The worst thing is that these destructive feelings act on our brain and our body in a disastrous way. The immune defenses diminish, but above all, they decrease the production of hormones in the brain, which are necessary for it to function properly. An unhappy, worried, or tormented person will produce very low amounts of dopamine, serotonin and endorphins, substances, that the brain produces correctly when we are in a state of calmness, or psychophysical balance. This is where the emotional reset technique comes into play. First, I want you to know that I've been testing this auditory method on myself and thousands of people for over 5 years. The results achieved are amazing. The audio recorded combines the most recent techniques related to the use of binaural sound, the sound of nature, capable of treating every form of stress, to the sound of Tibetan bells, whose healing effects have been proven for centuries. I also introduced sound elements that act on the right hemisphere of the brain, which is closely connected to memories and emotions, and linked to our musical memory. A skill that even people affected by Alzheimer's dementia never lose. And that's why music also plays an important role in this field of research. One last thing about the audio created, it has been recorded and exported in 432 Hz. In meditation, this kind of frequency shows extraordinary effects on brain and body, so much that it's been defined, the healing vibration. How to use the emotional reset audio, called Slow Down Beat. The great innovation of this method is to bring our mind and body back to a state of alert relaxation. At the end of listening, you might want to sleep, and that's okay. Before the audio starts, sit back, or lie on the bed. Turn down the lights, wear your headphones, and close your eyes. The correct way you breathe will be crucial. The sound will do the rest. While you listen to the audio, visualize the ocean, its depth, its moving waves. It's very important breathing through your nose. When you inhale, count mentally 3 to 2 1. When you exhale, count mentally 10. Then again. Inhale, counting 3, 2, 1. Exhale, counting 9. Then again. Inhale, counting 3, 2, 1. Exhale, counting 8. And again. Breathe, counting 3, 2, 1. Release the air from your nostrils until you reach the value 0. Then, restart breathing, by using the same kind of countdown. It is important to mentally visualize the numbers. There is a reason for this. The purpose of this breathing is to focus your attention on a small, mathematical process that engages your mind. Your negative thoughts, in this way, will be totally disassociated from the emotional tangle that imprisons them. If counting 3, 2, 1 and 10 turns out to be easy at some point, so that your mind is doing the breathing but is still capable of thinking about the troubles it's trapped in, at that point you have to complicate the counting like this: inhale counting mentally 9, 8, 7, and exhale counting 10, then inhale, counting 9, 8, 7 and exhale, counting 9 and so on, until you get to count 9, 8, 7 and 0. If your mind also adapts to this calculation, find the most complex countdown possible. Personally, sometimes I use the following scheme: inhale, counting 19, 18, 17, then I exhale counting 20. I inhale, counting 19, 18, 17, then I exhale, counting 19 and so on, until reaching the value 0. Do this while listening to the various sounds that are proposed and displayed in the audio track. In some exercises, the speaker will also pronounce specific keywords. Your work is to listen to them, visualize them, without losing your focus on breathing, which is the most important part of my method. Initially, the rhythm in the background, a heartbeat sound, will be altered, going very quickly. Then it will slow down, until it will return to its natural 60 beats. At the end of the session, you will be completely relaxed. Your mind will have rested for about 15 minutes, allowing your brain to oxygenate itself correctly, and it will have produced the correct amount of endorphins, dopamine and serotonin. Once you'll have taken off your headphones, you'll feel completely relaxed and energized. Advice: it is essential that these sessions, at least 15 minutes each, be performed at least twice a day, in the morning, before starting any daily activity, and in the evening, before going to sleep. A third 15-minute session is advisable, if you feel negative feelings growing inside you. I urge you wholeheartedly to carry out these daily sound exercises for at least a week. The results will be tangible and you will feel the need to maintain them over time. However, it is essential that in the meantime, you change your habits. Your brain will change its electrical activity in your favor, but you will have to do the work necessary to get rid of what has caused so much suffering and negative thoughts in your life. If the causes of negative thoughts are people, remove them from your life. If the cause is the kind of work you are doing, do everything you can to find another. Now, if the environment you live in is toxic and negatively affects your feelings, leave it as soon as you can. If you feel pain because of some bad behavior you were engaged in, don't beat yourself about that. Instead, apologize to yourself for still punishing you. We all make mistakes because we are human beings and not merely machines. You must decide now to reset your life and give you new possibilities and a new future. Everything works best when we decide that we deserve the best, and each of us deserves to be peaceful and happy. I sincerely hope that this technique will help you regain strength, energy and the hope to start smiling again. But, please, trust this method. At least try it for 2 entire weeks, every day. Good luck.